Welcome to Florida. We're going to take a drive down the Keys towards Key West. The drive is an absolutely amazing experience, and I believe it is something that everyone should have the chance to enjoy. Our journey begins on the Indian Key Irving R. Eister Bridge. Irving Eister was an archaeologist who led excavations at Indian Key, helping to uncover its colorful past. If you look to your left, you will see the Indian Key Island, which currently is a state park that you can only get to by boat or canoe. When you visit, you can walk through the old ruins as you imagine its wild past. In the 1800s, this little island made its fortune by salvaging shipwrecks from the nearby reefs, and once it was attacked by a group of Seminole warriors, causing the townfolks to flee by boat, as the whole town was burnt down. And now we are on Channel No. 2 Bridge. To the right of the highway, you'll see the old bridge originally built in the early 1900s. These old bridges were part of Henry Flagler's dream of connecting the Keys by railway. You'll likely see fishers on the bridge now, since currently it is merely a walkway for people and not a railway for trains. At the end of the bridge is Craig Key, which you can't see from this video. Craig Key is about the size of a large farm, not a small city. It's interesting to see how small some of the keys are on this trip. Now we're leaving Indian Key and coming up to Channel No. 5 Bridge, one of the longest bridges in this stretch of the Keys. As mentioned before, this used to be the railway that connected the Keys. But after the Labor Day hurricane of 1935 wiped out most of the old bridges, the railway was converted to a highway. This is when US Highway 1 really became the lifeline for the Keys. Something to keep in mind if you're ever traveling to Key West is that there's only one road in and one road out, so accidents can cause horrible delays in either direction. Give yourself some extra time just in case. If you look to your left, you'll see the end of Long Key. It was originally named Cayo Víbora, which means Snake Key. This is a reference to the shape of the island, which resembles a snake. Don't be afraid, and take a moment to just look around with the ocean on both sides and blue skies above. Here's a fun fact. Long Key was once home to a world-famous fishing camp where even President Herbert Hoover came to fish. Remember that I mentioned a hurricane in 1935? It's still one of the most powerful storms that ever hit the United States, with winds over 185 miles per hour. It wiped out whole stretches of the old railroad and tragically took hundreds of lives, including many workers building the line. This is such a beautiful place, but it's definitely a hot spot for hurricanes. Now we're getting ready to cross Tom's Harbor Cut, a fairly small bridge compared to some of the other ones we'll cross. Not to get ahead of myself, but the last bridge is 7 miles long. While we cross this little bridge, you'll see an island to the right. That is Channel Key. From what I can see, there are no houses built there. It's just a tiny little island that has a name. I wonder how big an island has to be before they'll name it. Duck! We are coming to Duck Key. You can see it on your left as we drive down the section of the US Highway 1. It has a fairly large population with many people living there. It has a breakwater around the entire island to block waves, with its own marina and little canals giving you a way to travel the island by boat. A bit like Venice, Italy, but much simpler to visit. The next little bridge we'll see is called Tom's Harbor Channel, which leads us into Grass Key. You'll frequently see boats parked along the highway as we take this drive. I couldn't help but take some photos of them with nothing but the blue ocean behind. Very beautiful in photos and also very beautiful in real life. On the left you'll see Tom's Harbor Keys and a walkway that is called Florida Keys Overseas Heritage Trail. This trail is 106 miles long. Could you imagine walking or biking that whole distance? It's a long ways. And now you'll see that we're already on the 7-mile bridge, one of the longest bridges in the world when it was built. However, the Dongnyung-Kunshan Bridge in China holds the record for the longest bridge in the world. It stretches more than 102 miles and connects Beijing with Shanghai. Off to the right, you'll see what became of the original 7-mile bridge, built back in 1912. After the railway was destroyed by the hurricane, the bridge was adopted for cars and eventually outdated in the early 1980s when the road we are currently driving on was built. I'll be honest with you, what made me determined to take this trip was a movie I saw in July of 1994. It was True Lies with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jamie Lee Curtis and Tom Arnold. The getaway trucks were actually traveling on the road we see to the right of us, as Arnold Schwarzenegger and Tom Arnold instructed fighter jets to fire on the trucks. There were a lot of explosions in that movie on this little bridge, so maybe that's why nobody's driving on it today. Now let's just turn on the radio and drive for a bit. And be sure to subscribe and like if you want to support me. Thank you for watching, and make the best out of life. Enjoy whatever you have.
She calls me darling when the rent is due, sends a kissy face and a heart or two, says she misses me more than words can say, but somehow never on a payday. She's sweet like sugar when the bills arrive, but ghostly quiet when she's doing fine. I check my text, there's nothing new, till she needs a loan, or maybe two. She loves me when she's broke, well baby I'm her king, but when she's flush I don't hear a thing. She disappears like a dollar spent, then loves me loud when the cash is spent. Oh, I'm her sunshine, her honey, her only hope. When she loves me she's broke. Says you're special, you're one of a kind, right as her balance is in decline. But when her wallet's got a little glow, she's busier than I'll ever know. I play along, I know the game, the words are sweet but never the same. Still I reply, still I believe, till I remember what I always receive. She loves me when she's broke, I'm a real good guy, her favorite angel when her well runs dry. She's all in when the funds run low, then quiet again when the cash starts to flow. I'm a rescue boat, her winning pole. When she loves me, she's broke.